We had talked about changing up the Red for Dead Day or maybe doing something a little different just to make it more impactful. And when this came around, it just was the perfect fit.
The Waldorf Volunteer Fire Department sponsored 2 of us to be certified instructors, and we went up to a class in Long Island for a couple of days. We started coordinating in October to have a full-blown exercise where 2 cars and several patients would be involved in a drunk driving accident, and unfortunately one would be fatal. Every 15 minutes we'll take a child, a teen, a young man or young lady out of the classroom. Every 15 minutes, just like the national average, we're losing a person to alcohol-related accidents every 15 minutes. As they come out of class by the Grim Reaper, a deputy sheriff will read their obituary to the rest of the class. Once the obituary is read, that teen is taken to a moulage area where a death face is applied. They wear an every 15-minute t-shirt. However, from that point, they no longer text, speak, talk on their cell phones. There'll be no communication at all to anybody. At the end of the day, they're going to be put onto a bus and taken down to the Plata courthouse where we'll actually have a sentencing trial for the driver. Lindsay, who drove that car, when the officer spoke to her, come to find out she was drinking, they took her down to be processed. All the teens will go to Camp Merrick, where we'll have an opportunity for some counseling, talk about this. They're going to do some letters to mom and dad about, hey, I died today, and I forgot to say. All this we put together as a presentation for tomorrow morning at 8:30 at the school.
We had 30 students, and they just wanted to be involved as much as they possibly could. It's done by students and involves the community, which really is the purpose of our Safe Driving Task Force.
It was kind of surreal.
I knew what was going on, but even to be there and witness it, I didn't know that it was going to be that real. And I was in shock.
When you see it, it's totally different. It's like, whoa.
When I first came out and I saw the situation the way it was, I was kind of taken back, how realistic it was. How, oh my gosh, what's going on? You want to help, you want to help. And then wondering when are they going to get here? And just watching and just like seeming like minutes being hours.
Some of my EMS and fire personnel wanted to ask questions. How do you want us to do this? How do we handle this patient? I informed them I'm not going to tell them anything. They're going to arrive on scene and find their patients like we do every day of the week.
When the time dispatch is notified, to we're notified, to how long it takes us to respond to a scene, what we do as soon as we get out there. So we did everything as if we were running a true emergency.
When Carl started screaming, that's when it really got real.
Get me out!
She was touching me. She was like, oh my God. She was like, I want to get out. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really happening right now. This is scary. Like, it really felt like I had been in an accident.
Playing the part of somebody who was trapped in the car, it was very terrifying. That car was smushed. I had no leg room. I was mortified to see that our bodies can twist and turn inside a car that way. I didn't like being told, stay calm, stay calm. I would have been more calm if I got out of the car. But no, none of the doors open, I couldn't get out, and I was forced to look at the scene that was in front of me. It wasn't very pretty of a scene.
I just kept hearing my name scream, like, oh my God, Tasia! And I'm just like, oh, it was realistic enough to get to them, to make them realize that, hey, this is something serious. When they pulled Lindsay out the car, because I know her, and I'm just like, oh my God, now Lindsay's in trouble.
At first he was trying to comfort me to make sure I wasn't hurt or anything, and then after that he was asking me what was going on and who was in the car and have I been drinking and kind of what kind of scene I was in. When I was walking away in the cuffs with the police officer, I just looked up in the stands and like you saw people's faces, it was just like blank expressions. Like they had no idea what to think or what to say because they don't see this in everyday life.
Being the patient, I had the most fear when they were cutting the door off. because of hearing the metal just pop and cut, and they have a sheet over you, so you can't see what's going on, and you're just like, oh my God, what's next?
I was just thinking, can y'all just please hurry this up so I won't panic. I just kept saying, this is only fake. This is only fake, because it looks so real.
That was very uncomfortable, especially if you're claustrophobic. I can see you freaking out. You can't move. You can't move any part of your body but your arms, so I was kind of scared of that.
Felt even more trapped. I was strapped down with so many straps, tape. It was terrifying. I've never been inside of an ambulance before. So constantly looking up at the ceiling and seeing nothing and barely being able to turn my head, it was a little nerve-wracking. How you doing, hon? Right?
One of them was so bad, we called it a priority 1 alpha, that we were concerned that person was going to lose their life immediately. We called for a helicopter to transport that patient to shock trauma.
I think that our student body did an excellent job with themselves. I think that they really watched it and were wondering what was going to happen, what was going to happen.
I think from the attitudes and from the vision I saw today, where teams were really talking it up until they start seeing the actual trauma, and it changed their tone.
The reason why I think it's so effective is because we had more intense scenes. We actually had the moulage team come out and make their injuries look more realistic. We had the EMS and fire respond. We've set up, the helicopter coming in to, make it seem like a patient was being flown out. It was more like what happens in the real life and not just something that we make up and have dummies doing. It was actual students from their school.
People weren't expecting it to be this extreme. I heard talk around school about a mock accident, but they didn't think we would have so much blood and gore and all the apparatus responding. It really got to people.
I thought it was really realistic. A lot of people were pretty shocked. People don't really think about how when you get hurt, there isn't immediately people there, because usually people think, oh, emergency response, it's right away. But seeing it and how there's a delay and how shocking and violent everything can be, I think it was a wake-up call for people.
Maybe they'll change their ways about driving at parties, and maybe drunk, designated drivers and all that stuff. And maybe, or not even go to parties anymore.
It's scary to even think about this, that something so little like this, by taking your eyes off the road for even just a second, your life is totally changed. It's terrifying that something that little can do some big damage.
I entertained the conversation in every single one of my classes, and it took us the whole period. It was a very good conversation. Most of the students, I think, took away from it what it was intended to be. Some of the students said that they never realized the impact of an accident. To see this, what actually happened, the extreme of it, they were taken back. It did bring back some students that had seen accidents or were involved in accidents, and they took it very seriously because it was very personal to them, and they were kind of glad that other students could see that part of it.
And I heard a couple of people sit behind me saying, what if that was one of us? And once I heard that, that made this worthwhile.
Diamond Garnett. Every 15 minutes, someone in the United States is killed or seriously injured in an alcohol-related incident. Diamond Latrice Garnett was killed on April 12, 2012. 17 years old, a senior at Thomas Stone High School. Diamond was returning home from her volunteer job when she was hit head-on by a suspected intoxicated motorist.
How does it feel to be dead?
It's kind of sad to me because I won't see all my friends anymore and I won't get to talk to them. And the class I was just in, I left my best friend. She was sitting right next to me. And she just, she started freaking out.
My heart was beating so fast. That was hard. She's my best friend, and I knew she was getting pulled out, but even like to hear her obituary, it was pretty difficult.
Everyone, can I have your attention? Can I have Sierra LaVon Wade? Well, I have everyone's attention. Sierra LaVon Wade was killed April 12th, 2012.
They're fairly used to seeing it in the past because we've done Red for Dead Day. At least that part of it, they're used to. They understand. They can't talk, and as far as that goes. But I think once you see the accident, I think the tone might be slightly different the rest of the day when they really see what it's all a part of. It's like someone described it earlier. It's like Red for Dead Day times 10.
To see everyone's reaction to the way you look is interesting.
Joshua Linsmeyer of Waldorf, Maryland, was killed in an automobile accident on April 12, 2012. Josh was returning home from high school soccer practice when his vehicle was broadsided by a drunken driver who ran a red light.
What would happen if someone came to your door, knocked on it, and said your son died in an accident? How would you feel? How would you react to that?
I think my heart would stop. I would be in shock, and I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't be able to hold my emotion. I know that.
I mean, it's gonna feel weird not to talk, but I mean, I'll get the point of it because being dead, no one's gonna know, not everyone's gonna remember you, but no one's gonna talk to you. You're not gonna have anybody anymore. It's gonna feel weird in school.
Walking into lunch was it was weird because everybody's staring at you like, oh my God, what's going on? Why do you look like that? What happened to you? Like, it was a lot of questions because the makeup made everything look real.
How sad does that make you feel when you see your friends are paying because of, you know, something that happened to you?
I was about to cry. As soon as I left the classroom, actually, I was about to cry.
It will really make me sad because I really don't like seeing other people get emotional and everything. And that would just really get me upset.
I would want them to do something like that we did today and make people more aware of what drinking and driving can do to other people.
They can feel sorrow for me, but they think about me. You gotta think about maybe another kid who had the same feelings, like, or just died, and then their parents feel the same way.
When I heard about this, I had wanted him to be a part of it, and I just think it would be a very good growing experience for him, because I didn't want to be on the mother end of that.
I just hope that the ones who do drive will think twice before they pick up a phone or try distracted driving.
I think most people will take it more seriously. The day in general will just probably have a more serious tone because there are all of us walking around who are supposed to be dead. Even if it can help a few more people take it seriously, I think it's really important.
All rise. Circuit Court for Charles County is now in session. Honorable Douglas Cooley is presiding.
Thank you. Be seated, please.
The courtroom, it was crazy.
I was so nervous. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what to say, and the orange jumpsuit just put it over, and I was in handcuffs, and that just made me all the more nervous.
Your Honor, April 12, 2012, the music died. Taylor Eshelman was a young, promising musician. He's a guitar player. Would play all kinds of music. That desire never came true because of what this woman right here did, April 12, 2012. She made some decisions that day, Your Honor. She made some decisions to drink and get behind the wheel and drive. Because of her, 4 lives are ruined. 1 life is over. She also liked to brag. Oh, I can drink, I can hold my liquor just like an adult. That's the mindset that this defendant had even before April 12, 2012.
What happened when you had the prosecutor pretty much saying everything bad about you?
I was like, no, I don't ever want to be in this place. That's not true about me. Like, I'm not that type of person that wants to just take someone's life away.
Tyra misses her high school graduation. All of her friends walked across the stage with cap and gown to get the diploma. Tyra couldn't because she's in the hospital recovering from the accident caused by this woman here.
I talked to Lindsay, and she said she was shaking, and I felt her shaking. I was speechless the whole entire time.
That prosecutor, he really made it seem real. Pointing the fingers, talking about her scholarships and sports she plays. It was so realistic, and I don't see how she held it up.
The sentence that I'm going to impose is going to give you a chance to complete the sentence, come out a relatively young woman, get married, have a house, have children, do all these great things. Mr. Prosecutor would have me make an example of you, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to sentence you to the maximum sentence allowable by law. You'll be in the care and custody of the sheriff. Mr. Sheriff, take her away.
The judge with his, that shocked me. That little noise, yeah, it got me.
That was breathtaking also. Like, the person beside me, like, gasped.
I was like, really? That harsh? No, like, no second thoughts? No nothing. I was like, it's over. It was scary.
I started shaking, my hands started sweating, and I was doing all I could to like hold back the tears. It was just bad. Everything was being taken away. Like, I couldn't go to college and I couldn't play sports. And it was just like I had to put my life on hold for so many years because of one decision I made.
I would feel like the smallest person in the world at that moment. I would feel so much, I would say, hate towards myself for killing another person.
I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
I'd just be hanging my head right now.
I would just, in my mind, I would just say my life is over, basically.
I know a lot of people at our school do drink and drive. So it's like, and I guess they just don't understand the effects that can come from it. It just makes me really sad to think that this happens in everyday life, that people really do die from drinking and driving. And sometimes it's the people who are innocent, that have nothing to do with it, that die.
Every 15 minutes, someone in the United States dies or is seriously injured in an alcohol-related incident. Today, I died. Mommy, you are my hero. I don't know what I would have done without you. Unfortunately, you have to live your life without me. You saved my life once, but this time it wasn't so easy. Thank you so much for loving me and caring for me. You gave me everything down to the clothes off your back. I know you were beyond proud of me and everything I've accomplished. But I would be beyond proud of you if you continue to life knowing that I'm always going to be by your side. I love you, Mommy, and thank you for all the beautiful and loving things you've done for me.
When they read the letters, I don't think there was a dry eye in that auditorium. Everyone felt some emotion because you start thinking, that could be me.
Mama was doing the right thing, I promise. I understand your curfew, Dad. I got into my car to go home. Everyone else was driving away too. I felt so safe, Mom and Dad. Everything was fine. The guy who hit me is fine. It's not even a scratch. It's just not fair, Mom. I didn't drink, but now I'll die. I miss you already. I wish you would know. Just one more thing, Mom, before I go. Tell the others of the risk to survive when them or another drinks and drives. Mommy, I just wanted to tell you that I love you. I know that I don't say that often, but I know I should have. I know that you are devastated because I can no longer be with you. You're my best friend. We always did everything together, and because of a stupid mistake, you will never see me again. Please take care of Kevin and tell him that I love and miss him. I'm in a better place now. God is taking care of me. No matter what, I will always be with you. You are never alone. Again, I love you, Mommy.
They have such a tremendous power, not only over each other, but they have the power to educate the adults in the community, then each other. They just have such a tremendous influence.
I think it'll make a really big impact and make people realize that any minute, anything can happen.
I want them to learn that we need to really be safe because we already had too many car accidents and students dying.
We're becoming very lax with our driving, and one little turn away, and that could be it. And just to know that you have a lot of power behind that wheel, but it can be taken away from you in a second. And you need to be really alert. You need to pay attention.
Just think. Just think. Just think. That one little text could cause some major damage.
It affects the community, not just one person. Like Stephanie Weir, my sister was here, and my sister was affected by it. She knew her, and she just knew like how everyone else was like felt in school about it.
Because I drive, and I see other people who, even driving in the parking lot, it's kind of scary. So hopefully they'll think twice. They'll make better decisions when driving.
I'm really hoping that a teen will be driving down the road and get a text message, and instead of looking at that phone, they're going to remember this image, and they're going to leave their phone sitting there, and they're not going to touch it.
One girl I know now throws the phone in the back seat and continues to drive. So it's gotten the point across to a lot of people.
I'm praying that at the next party, that the person that's driving is going to only have Coke. Not rum and Coke, and not vodka, just Coke.
There's been, fatalities everywhere with people getting behind the wheel of drinking. They think it's okay to drink a half a beer. A half a beer, can impair your judgment. It slows your reaction down.
People take for granted other people's lives a lot. So I hope that we got the message across about don't drink and drive.
Some people might not take it seriously, but even if it can help a few more people take it seriously, I think it's really important.
That was the scariest thing, waiting for prom, to see if we actually touch somebody. Not to hear or get a phone call that night saying someone died after prom. That was the most important thing.
I want students to understand that this is not just about prom time. Our goal has always been if we can just get one person to not be distracted while driving, whether it be through, heaven forbid, alcohol, cell phones, whatever it may be, then this is a success.